Hello, this is where we left off yesterday with what we're going to be calling the 10 numbered bubbles of Zozabad. And we're building a tree of life using the classic Kabbalistic logic of thinking about stuff just too much until you go crazy. And we're taking it from the Chicken Kabbalah of Rabbi Lamed Ben Clifford and the spurious, the phony, the faux classic classroom documents of the Zerubbabel Institute of Philosophical Youth. And we've so far, using Kabbalistic logic of the different students, we've gotten to the 10 numbered bubbles of Zozabad, where, as we left off yesterday, it said, we live in this kingdom. Oh, it'd be number 10 on the bottom there. It's the lowest of the emanations, and it's where the divine light vibrates at its lowest frequency. It's where the invisible becomes visible. Signed Jozabad of Shaimai, or Shamayai, or Jozabad. Anyway, let's move on. Winning essay number 3, submitted by Zabad, son of Aziza. I abase myself before my esteemed colleague, Jozabad, the son of Shimei, for his stunning demonstration of spiritual insight. I hereby propose that his diagram arrangement of the 10 emanations or Sephiroth be known from this day forward as the 10 numbered bubbles of Zozabad. With all due respect to my friend's genius, however, I would like to point out a few important aspects of his 10 bubbles that, in his flurry to ennoble himself in the eyes of the faculty, have escaped his attention. When we look at all 10 steps of creation, we see that the 10th emanation is the reflection of the 9th, which is the reflection of the 6th, which is the reflection of the 1. Now you take a tree of life and just pull that center pillar off, and there you go. To form the backbone of the 10 numbered bubbles of Zozabad, the numbers 1, 6, 9, and 10 are critical to the structure of the universe, as the spine is to the human body. They are also indicative of the 4 letters of the divine name Yod, He, Vav, He. We put the Yod there, He, Vav, He. And that it all represents in the universe and the human soul. And all of it represents the universe and the human soul. If the class had any doubt about this, let me point out that the sum of 1, 6, 9, and 10 equals 26, which is the same as the supreme name of God, Yod He Vav He. Furthermore, and most importantly, I believe, when we insert 3 paths that join 1, 6, and 9, and 10, we create a total of 12 paths on the tree of life. Okay? Like that. let's see. I call them Zabad's 12 Paths of Glory. These 12 paths link the 10 emanations and bring the total steps of creation to the sacred number 22. How about that? Not only that, but that center pillar would be like the light of God reflects as the sun, which is reflected by the moon, which shines upon the earth. Okay. So now we have Zabad, son of Aziza, further developing this thought, taking the 10 numbered bubbles of Zozabad and linking them in such a way as to form 12 paths. And along with the 10 Sephiroth, gives us again the sacred number 22. Conclusion. I believe that I have succeeded in demonstrating how deity, number 1, through the medium of 4, 10, and 22, created the universe and the nature of reality as we perceive it. I think it should be obvious to Rabbi Rowe and the entire class that I have mastered the assignment and have wrenched all the wisdom that can be extracted from this line of thinking. I suggest we now move on to another subject, like when do we go co-ed? Signed, Zabad, son of Aziza. But this is the grand prize winning essay, submitted by Ramia, son of Josiah. Once again, I am stunned at the intelligence and wisdom exhibited by my classmates, especially the fruits of the recent exchange between Zabad, son of Aziza, and Jozabad, son of Shimei. I most humbly confess that my feeble mind could never have developed the 10 numbered bubbles of Zozabad or Zabad's 12 paths of glory. Please know that anything I might add at this point must only be viewed as my dwarfish mental stature standing upon the shoulders of these two giants. Still, I must strenuously disagree with Zaba's assertion that we have concluded our meditations on the diagram, and that he and Jozabad have labored so diligently to erect. As I was the first of the class to draw our attention to the holiness of the number 22, I must respectfully point out certain flaws in Zabad's thinking concerning his 12 paths of glory. I will begin by pointing out that I believe there are 2 additional pillars that flank the middle pillar. Okay. As it is postulated, each one of us is made in the image of deity. These 2 pillars correspond to the right and left side of the human body, the middle pillar being the spine. They also accommodate the entire spectrum of universal opposites so profoundly divide our perception of reality. Light, darkness, male, female, strength, weakness. The middle pillar serving to balance and harmonize these extremes. Furthermore, I believe that the paths which join the 10 Sephiroth are not merely nails that attach the emanations, but are actually conduits of divine intelligence which transmit the influence of each Sephira back and forth between its neighbor. Consequently, all Sephiroth should be joined by paths like that. You will notice in my diagram that I've drawn broken paths leading from 3 to 4 and from 5 to 2. There's all this. Oh, excuse me. Got it. Two more paths there. There we go. See the broken paths? Okay. This is because I believe that these paths do not exist. To explain this, we must return for a moment to Zabad's earlier essay, which explains how 1 became 3. If you recall, he wrote that 1 is the only real number, 2 is just a projected reflection of 1, and 3 merely a condition of recognition that 2 is not 1. So too, 1, 2, and 3 is the only real triad. The triad of 4, 5, 6 is only its reflection, and the third triad is merely the replication of the second. The area between the first triad and the second triad is the impenetrable surface of a mirror. It is an inscrutable abyss. As I gaze into the mirror hanging on the wall in my dormitory room, I see my reflection, an unreal image of the real me in my real room. So it is with deity. The supernal triad, 1, 2, and 3, is the real thing, existing on the real side of the mirror. Abyss. On the unreal side of the abyss are all the unreal things, including you and me and everything we perceive in the universe. They assume a semblance of reality because they, like my reflection in the mirror, are bound by the image of the real supernal patterns and forms. Just as I give a kind of life to my reflection in the mirror, so all the manifest units of creation are vivified by the living light of the supernal triad. Indeed, that light is our true identity. What we think is our body, our world, our self, is only the shadowy reflection of the divine being whose radiance shattered at the abyss. We aren't even truly alive. We are just the reflection of real life. Quote, and created the Elohim Adam. In the image of the Elohim created they them, male and female created they them. Unquote. Just as we cannot walk into a room reflected in the mirror, a path cannot exist between 3 of the supernal triad and 4 of the second triad. Other paths appear to cross the abyss, but they aren't really paths, but are either reflected paths or avenues of reflection. The paths joining, let's see if I can hold this up like this. Hang on. if you had this book, you'd be able to actually. Okay, there's. The path joining 1 and 6 is the avenue of reflection between 1 and 6. The path joining 2 and 4 is the avenue of reflection between 2 and 4. Continue on. The path joining 3 and 5 is the avenue of reflection between 3 and 5. The path joining 1 and 2 is reflected as the path joining 2 and 6. The path joining 1 and 3 is reflected as the path joining 3 and 6. Conclusion. This leaves us with 22 paths joining the 10 Sephiroth. I presume to call the entire thing Ramiya's 32 Mysterious Paths of Wisdom. It is my firm belief, although I am not prepared to elucidate further at the moment, that these 22 paths have a direct correspondence with the 22 letters of our sacred Hebrew alphabet. I further contend that the mystery of their placement upon this tree of life, as I've also presumed to name it, is the key to eventual return to our divine estate. Signed, Ramiya, son of Josiah. And so ends the rare official classroom documents of the Zorobabel Institute of Philosophical Youth, and how, using their Kabbalistic logic, developed the idea of the Tree of Life with its 10 emanations and 22 paths. And that's where we'll stop for today. We have a mystery here at the house to look into about this empty box. We want to know what was in it. I'll update you tomorrow on that. Until tomorrow, happy Thursday, everybody. Please go off and wash each other's feet. And
take communion.
And take communion. Yes, and hope it won't be your last supper. Unless you're ready. Okay. Until tomorrow, I'll see you on Good Friday, as someone once said. Continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Bye-bye.